Hello and welcome in the Dark Forest. This is the first game we will play on the series which based on the Dark Fort game, so the original solo game what became Mörk Borg. And this is kind of a new game. It was published by Nick Waber in this year, 2025, and this is a wilderness hexcrawl adaptation of Dark Fort. And also, he states that this is a tribute to Dark Fort. And as you can see, he tried to mimic the original document, and I think it went really well. We have the same type of pages, so what you can't see here is the character creation, but we can do it together. I will read the rules for you. So we have the character sheet. This time it's a little bit different format, but we can see all the parts we need, and not an empty, a blank space to draw in, but a hex map. And rules for filling this map and drawing the elements of map, and rules for combat and the description of the monsters. So it's the same as we experienced in the Dark Fort game. And the rules for character creation starts with a kind of funny sentence. Your name is still Kargund, but at least we know we will play the same characters. So here is the character sheet for Kargund, and let's see how to start this game. You begin with 12 plus 1d6 hit points. So the first roll is for our hit points. 12 plus 2, it will be 14 hit points. And we have 12 plus 1d6 silver pieces. Let's see, 4. Okay, so 12 plus 4, 16 silver pieces. And 12 plus 1d6 rations. 12 plus 4, it will be 16 again. Okay, and we have to count the explored hexes, but actually this is a different thing from the Dark Fort. You just have to collect points, and we can level up every time we gain 15 points. We reset the points to 0, and we have to roll for some advancement in the level up phase. So we can count the explored hexes, but actually it doesn't matter in the game how many hexes did we explore already. Or at least, as I didn't read all the rules and all the possible encounters, I'm not sure if it will be important or not. But we have to count the points, so at the moment we have 0 points. And let's see our equipments. I think this will be the next part. You own one weapon. It is a d6 roll, so we have these first 6 equipment items, which are the weapons. And we start with a battle axe, and it is a d6 weapon. And one item, it is a d6 again, and where are these? Random weapon, heavy gloves, bedroll, medkit, armor, random scroll. Okay, so we will see what to note. The second item is 3, which is a bedroll. It means +1 healing in camp. Yeah, here it is. Okay. And that's all what we start with. So let's jump into the game. First of all, we need hexes. We have this 2d6 hex terrain table. I think this is the first what we have to do to define what is the terrain we are in. And I guess we can start anywhere in this map. We will have a hex encounter table, a d6 table. So what we find, what else? Hex exit directions. And there are some rules for camping and resupply. I'm not sure how we have to count the time. Go foraging, resupply, roll 1d6, and there are possible results. Okay, every day with 0 rations, lose 1 health point or hit points and lower max HP by 1. Spend 1 ration per max HP to restore. -1 attack or damage. Okay, so we have to count the rations and we have to eat every day, of course. The other thing is making a camp where we can heal, and it costs 2 rations to make a camp and stay and heal. Okay, so nothing about how time goes. Maybe it will be somewhere in the encounter table. We'll see, or we will use just common sense. So let's start. Let's see the first hex terrain, and we will decide in a second where to start. 9, which is a burned land. Oh, immediately a burned land. Okay, and let's go from the first hex of the page. Here is our first hex, this burned land, and let's see what's happening here. A d6 for the hex encounter table. 3, Fairy Trickster. Roll 1d6, okay. 3 plus 3 points. Okay, that's all. So we've met a fairy and we have some experiences after this meeting. Let's note that we have the first 3 points. Let's move to the next hex. Oh, I forgot, where is the exit? 6, backtrack, 1, 5 hex sides clockwise from entry. We have a special rule for the first hex. It is 6, meaning south this time. So we will move to the hex on the south. Let's see the terrain. There. 4, Pine Barrens. Let's see the content. d6 for the encounter table. 6, a gnomish tinkerer offers to trade items or weapons. On 1-on-1, items and weapons for scrolls in a 2-to-1 ratio, or buy-sell items, weapons for 10 silver, yes, silver is the currency here, or scrolls for 20 silver. We have the initial 16 silver, and we can buy or sell items or weapons for 10 silver. Here is the list, and so I guess everything is 10 silver on this list. And I'm thinking about an armor, which means minus d6 damage for 2d6 fights. Oh, it is not a permanent item. Okay, let's just go with it and let's roll for the 2d6 fights. How strong is this armor? 6. Okay, it's somewhere in the middle. So I will note it that we have 6 uses of the armor, and it costs 10 silver, yes. Now we have 6 silver, so we cannot buy any more things. Let's move. I'm not sure where should we eat or drink or camp. We have 16 rations, maybe 1 hex is 1 day. It makes sense that we have so much rations, it seems enough for a long time, for 16 hexes. Let's say 1 hex is 1 ration, 1 hex is 1 day, so we are already on the second hex and we will go to the third. This means by the end of the day, our Kargund will have 13 rations. Okay, let's move, and now I have to check where to move because we have 3 different options and this is not the first hex anymore. So the hex exit direction says d6, 3, clockwise from entry. Okay, we entered from the north. Clockwise it means 1, 2, 3, south. Okay, we go to the south again and let's see the terrain. Cursed Barrow. Switch to Dark Fort for 3d6 rooms. Aha, okay, if we roll 2 or 12, yeah, that's the real tip. Then we jump to the original game, the Dark Fort, for 3d6 rooms. For 10 rooms in this case. Okay, so we found in the next hex, okay, first of all, let's note we are on the third hex, and this was a Cursed Barrow. Here we have the third hex, this Cursed Barrow, and now it is interesting, it is a very different thing that while Dark Fort was just sit down, play one session is 1 dungeon and you're over the game, or you can play many times to get all the levels, and this is kind of a campaign. And in this case, in the Dark Forest case, as we have 2 options to go under the ground in a dungeon environment, even a Cursed Barrow or a Ruined Keep, then it is a much longer game, because now we can enter the dungeon, explore these 10 rooms we rolled, the 3d6 rooms, and then come to the surface and continue exploring the Dark Forest. Okay, I'm curious of this game, and we already know how Dark Fort works, so I just say that I ignore this encounter. I mean, I see this and I don't want to enter. Let's just move to the next hex. So we have to know where is the next direction we have to go. 1, meaning clockwise from N3. Oh, we will go a little bit backwards. Let's see the terrain there. 8, it is a deep forest. Okay, let's move towards the deep forest. The 4th hex, and we have to eat. Let's see the encounter in this deep forest. 6, a gnomish tinkerer. Okay, trade items or weapons 1-on-1. Let's see if we can have some better. I already see the sword and the longbow, which gives +1. It is interesting that the sling and the dagger looks like they are not so strong, but they give other type of advantages. Let's just exchange the weapon. So we don't have a battle axe anymore, but we have a sword. D6 +1 attack. Okay, we met this gnomish tinkerer in the deep forest, and we can move. Where to move? Which direction? 3. So we entered from number 3, which means in clockwise 1, 2, 3, we go further in the same direction. Let's see the terrain. 5, Fen Bog. Here is the 5th hex, this bog area, and let's see the encounter. 1, nothing of note. Hex now explored. Okay, let's move to the 6th one. Oh, where to move? 6, backtrack. Okay. And what if we are backtracking? Oh, I'm not sure if I counted the rations well. So we had 16, and we are on the 6th day, so we have 10. I missed some. We have just these 3 points. Another interesting question. If we go down to the Dark Fort area, the Cursed Barrow, then still we count the same points here? It is interesting that we have different level up advantages than in the Dark Fort. I'm not sure what was the intention of the author with this combining. I mean, I totally understand that, yeah, we are overland, we find the dungeon, we go down and explore the dungeon and then continue our travels overlands. So the concept is okay, but maybe, and I have to say this is the version 0.05, so definitely the author wants to work on this game further. Now I think one point to clarify is how the two game connects, and yes, how to collect points when moved to the other game, and can you bring your points earned in the dungeon to this Dark Forest area. Maybe you can choose which table to use for a level up. And one other thing I can't find here, that if we are going back, yeah, it just says 6 equals backtrack, but it doesn't say anything about rolling a new encounter or rolling for wandering monsters. We have the rule from Dark Fort that when entering an explored room or a room you fled from, there is 1 in a 4 chance you face a weak monster. In this game we don't have weak, but sorry, we have the weak and the tough monsters here too. Maybe we can apply this 1 in 4 rule when we use backtracking. Let's just say we come back to the forest. So this is the 4th and also the 6th hex we explored. I've already counted the rations. And let's roll 1 in a 4 for a wandering weak monster. Okay, sorry, I rolled a 1d6, but as 1 is always the wandering monster in the games I play, I would say yes, we are meeting a wandering monster, and it is a good opportunity to read the combat rules and find out how it goes. So let's roll for this weak monster we've met, d6. 6. Roll twice, 2 two weak monsters appear. Okay, we are just returned to the forest and immediately two weak monsters. Let's see. 1 and 3, so we have a wolf for 3 points, d6 damage and d6 HP. So we don't have the same wolf in every encounter when we roll this. And the third one is a wild man for 3 points, again d6 damage and d6 hit points, it's the same, but also d6 silver, and 1 in a 6 chance he also carries a random item. It's good. Okay, first of all, let's see the wolf's damage and HP. The first die is for the damage and the second is for hit point. So 5 damage and 6 hit points. It is a very, very strong wolf. Here we go, and let's see the wild man's rolls. 3 damage and 4 hit points. Okay, how the combat goes. Roll d6 against the monster's points. If d6 is equal or greater than the monster's points, roll weapon damage. What is the damage of our weapon? d6. Okay, we have +1 for the attack and d6 for the damage, I guess. And in case of two monsters, attack or defend versus numeric list order. Okay, so we don't have to actually fight in the same time with both monsters. We start with the wolf and then we can go to the wild man. Also, we can flee from the fight, and we also know the points and levels rule. Okay, let's just start. So we have to roll 3 or higher. Actually, we have a +1, so 2 or higher with our sword against the wolf. Let's see the first fighting roll. It is enough, okay, so we can roll for damage. It is just a d6. Ooh, 6! We managed to defeat the wolf with 1 hit. Okay, so now we have 3 points for the wolf. And let's move to the highwayman. Wildman, sorry. Let's roll. 1, ouch! Okay, so if d6 is lesser than the monster's points, you're hit, roll damage. Maybe okay, now I understand. We don't have to roll for the damage at the beginning of the combat, but every time when we have a hit, we can roll for each damage. Now I rolled a 3 already, so I will use this as the first damage value. -3, meaning we have 11 points. Okay, and we can try it again. 4, okay, enough, and let's roll for damage. 3, okay, the wildman still has 1 hit point. And let's roll again. 6, okay, let's roll for damage. 6, great. Now we defeated the wildman too, so first of all the 3 points for the wildman. Now we have 9. Okay, and let's see what we looted. d6 silver, 2 silver, and 1 in a 6 carries a random item. 2, it's not a 6. Let's note the silvers, so now we have 8. It was the wandering monsters, and nothing else happens here, so we can move to the next hex, but where to go? 3, how it was? 1-5 hex sides clockwise from entry, so that's where we've entered, and clockwise 1, 2, 3, meaning in the same direction. Okay, I could memorize that 3 is always going towards the same direction as before. Arriving back to this area, and just roll for wandering monsters. Nothing else can happen here. I still don't want to go down to the dungeon. Wandering monsters, okay. d6 for big wandering monster. 4, it is a bandit. For 3 points, d6 damage, d6 hit points. Let's roll the hit points. 3, okay. And we can have 2d6 silver and 2 in a 6 chance for carrying a random weapon. Not just a random item, a random weapon. Okay. Let's roll, and against the 3 points, which means 2 or higher, with the +1 sword. Yes, okay, roll for damage. 3 is just enough. So now we have 3 points and 11 silver and nothing else. Okay, so 3 points and 11 silver to note. Now we have 12 points, so just one more 3 points enemy or something like this for a level up. Okay, let's move. Where to move? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is out of the map, so I will go south as the closest possible option where we didn't walk yet. Let's see the terrain there. So south of this hex. 9. It is a burned land again. Okay. It is hex number 8. Oh, I just forgot to count the rations, but we started with 16, so after this day we still have 8. Let's roll for encounter. 6. The Gnomish Tinkerer again. Now we have 11 silver, so we can buy something. I forgot the armor. No problem, we still have many hit points. Maybe... I wanted to mention that we don't have an option for healing herbs or potions, whatever, but we have an option to camp, and that's the healing in this game. Okay, let's just move on. Where to go? 4. It is 1, 2, 3 leading out of the map again, so just follow the south road and let's see the terrain there. 8. Deep forest, okay. Let's see what's happening here. 4. You face a weak monster. If you kill it, the hex is explored, okay. Let's roll for a weak monster. 3, a wild man, and the hit points of this wild man is 3. Okay, we just have it here. Let's roll for attack. 1! Ouch! It is the only result when the wild man hits us. So let's roll for the d6 damage. 5! Ouch! Still have 6 hit points. Let's roll for attack. 3, okay, it's enough now. And the damage. 6, great, we defeated the wild man, and we can have the 3 points of the wild man. So now we have the 15 points needed for a level up, so I just note the 0 because we exchanged the points for a level. And here is the levels table, so we just have to roll a d6 for a level up. Let's see. 1, meaning +1 attack. Okay. I'm just counting that we've met only weak monsters, all were 3 points worse monsters, but with the sword +1 and now with this extra +1, it means that even if we roll a 1, we successfully hit the weak monster, at least those ones we've met. So now we can say it is an instantly successful hit, and they are not able to hit us anymore with this level up. Okay. Let's summarize what I experienced in this game. I really like the idea that it is expanding the world. The overland things are really just random terrain rolls, and the encounters are what we explored. The encounters are almost with the same thinking as the author said in the very beginning, that the whole project is kind of mimicking the original Dark Fort. I like this, that it is implemented, the original Dark Fort, and you can go down to dungeons, and it can be a much longer game with this. You can explore a whole region, a whole world, and there are no settlements as far as I've seen, but we can still meet the fairy, the Gnomish Tinkerer, so there are other civilized creatures here and there in this wilderness. I think it is an important point to clarify how the level up goes between the two games and how to merge these tables maybe, or choose one. I'm not sure what Nick Waber, the author, wants. But this is a possible growing and improving point. I like this game again, but I have the different feeling after playing this, especially with this +1 and +1. I think this is kind of a nice rule that you can exchange your weapons one-on-one, because despite the weaker weapons have some other type of advantages, with this +1 attacks it can be a game changer. So I think the whole game is a little bit less brutal, a little bit less lethal. Let's just check the tough monsters for a bit. Are there any interesting things? For example, the fungal zombie. 5 points, yes, so it's much harder to hit. And 1 in a 6 chance you are infected with spores. Your adventure ends here. Yes, so it has the same lethality here and there of what we experienced in the Dark Fort, for example, when we've met the Medusa. Okay, I think we just rolled well, and it was an easy game, an easy 15 points to collect. I'm curious how others implemented the original ideas of Dark Fort, so let's see another game next time. See you there. Hit the subscribe button if you didn't do it already. Thank you for being here. Bye.